All right. I'll start with the one I wrote. Here's Huff, man. He was also an artist. He did a lot of drawings and paintings and stuff. And so I go, yeah, I got these poems. I want to do a chapbook. I want to use some of your art. And so he goes, yeah. I mean, that was Huff. Yeah, let's do it. And so this was the cover. That's a painting of Huff. And the book has all his drawings and stuff in it. Anyway, this is the guy in the house down the street. Sometimes the wind makes his house shiver and his heart is blown open. He can still hear her muttered excuses as she dressed in her wrinkled clothes and made her way back to the streets. It's bigger out there, he knows that, but somehow he thinks four walls are a promise of considered prayer. Sometimes the vertigo blindsides him, flat panic that won't be bothered with hysteria, vague horror, and the certainty that this day will be just like all the rest. A couple nights ago downtown, he saw a large, beautiful woman. He wanted her to take him away. She was magnificent. He thought if he could suck her breasts for a while, he would be healed of every disappointment he had ever felt. He watched her step through the doorway of a breezy nightclub, and the street light on her black slacks made her big legs shine. His bus arrived in a hydraulic hiss, and he made the ride home. He tried to watch the same old city roll by, but he couldn't get past his reflection in the window. Some of us know this, some of us don't. Albert Huffstickler was a twin. His brother died at birth. I don't know. This is I'm going to read from these. This is called Impressions from Childhood. Watcher. I am the one who stands outside the window in the dark looking in on himself. That slender boy's body sprawled in sleep. I'm the one who wanders the darkness of the night separate, who asks no favors, having come to know that what he is resembles no other. I am he who watches himself outside windows in the darkness, feels no flesh enclosing his imagined limbs, being without substance, dream form. This is the time of doorways. There was a time of doorways, of the soft dread of passing through to what lay beyond, always unknown, taking a deep breath, fixing in your memory who you were so you'd not get lost in transit. Like crossing thin ice, you'd tiptoe towards the dreaded opening, breath held. Then, making yourself small, quickly squeeze through, eyes shut tight. Then stand a moment breathless before parting your lids a bare fraction. Ah, the living room. You're in the living room. You never know. This is when time becomes a dentist's office dread. Once I was a kite. Once I was a kite and the wind knew me and I soared in a way I don't remember now. One day I caught my tail in a tree and took on the burden of mortality. With the tree tugging and the string tugging and the wind tugging, struggling to respond to all three, I became an unholy trinity. Then later, dumb, numb, and cowardly, learned to do what was expected of me. I became a good boy. But that was all right, it didn't matter. Nothing matters to a kite when it can't soar anymore. This is the burden of secrets. How can I tell you what I did and didn't do? How can I tell you I am not the way I should be? I am separate from the sun, and unredeemable. I am the only one who never came home. I lingered in the lamplight, letting the dread build up till it was a great black wave sweeping me down the street, through the back door, furtively creeping like a crab to my room to hide there in my sins and my silence. How can I tell you what I did and didn't do? How can I tell you I am not the way I should be? This is rain. Rain covers it all over. Rain makes it all quiet. Rain makes it easier to remember. Rain doesn't hurt like snow, which brings it all back at once. Rain is gentle, but you can never quite love it as much. Rain is the pain. Rain is the plain, comfortable sister to the beautiful, unreachable snow. Anything shining wakes you up. Rain puddles, Christmas trees, tin foil, sun on leaves. Wake to dream, remembered scenes remote as honeysuckle scent on an evening wind. Pilgrims, the leaves say in the evening as the sun sets. Pilgrims, birds cry in the first morning light. Remember, the tunnel voice sounds between your dreams and your waking. Forget, says your mother, spooning your oatmeal. Forget, says your father with a swift, dark frown. Pilgrim, says the old woman at the window, wandering the alleys in a long gray gown. And this is child song. Moon, know me. Stars, know me. I'm a child, and it's not easy. I have come a long way. I have far to go and remember what I should forget and forget what it is I should remember. Home is far away and the way is forgotten. Moon, know me. Stars, know me. I am a child and it's not easy. Okay, this is such a gift that happened to me. Yesterday, I grabbed my Huff archives off the bookshelf and found an envelope tucked in one of his chapbooks. It's a letter from Pat Little Dog, dated March 3rd, 2002. Dear Larry, Jenny told me that you and Greg were raising money to cremate Huff and take his ashes out to New Mexico. I wanted to come to the Hyde Park benefit tomorrow night, but the trip doesn't seem to be in the cards for me. So I thought I'd just mail you a little cash and you'd know what to do with it. God knows what I did with that money. I'd like to help buy him a big pot of red geraniums, too, that could be put somewhere in the Hyde Park Square, in parentheses, renamed Huff Stickler Square, of course. Take care, dear friend, Pat. And this is the poem she wrote. As far as I know, I've got the only copy. I think she just wrote it down on a piece of paper and sent it to me. And I'll close with this. One more time for Albert, and this is by Pat Little Dog. One more time with Albert. Sit down with him on his sidewalk bench. Talk about what's near. Talk about Wanda and other dear wounded who hail after buses from wheelchairs. Talk about birds, how their signature of swirl and cry make the city sky bearable. Talk about what's far, red geraniums growing in a blue pot called New Mexico. Remembered light, one more time, in Albert's reflection. Talk about faces that break into dazzle. Talk about words aroused from gray walls to form the bright outlines of galaxies. And then walk away. Leave a space for the next gift of grace. Take a piece of his smile, an everlasting glimpse of baggy pants and red suspenders.